Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently trading at 49,047, up 0.39%. Ethereum 3230, down 0.33%. My goal is to assist you to be more of a financial blessing and create real wealth for yourself and those you love. I've hidden knowledge gems throughout this video. Unless you watch to the end, you'll miss them. See how many you can find. We have an amazing community of people on Crypto Trading KS, all focused on real wealth. Real wealth is much more than just money. Money is simply security and choice, of course, but money by itself is not enough. Having inner and outer peace, fulfillment and meaning, those are the things that make money truly worthwhile and life worth living. I'd like to talk to you today about commitment. As Pat Riley said, there are only two options regarding commitment. You're either in or you're out. There's no such thing as a life in between. Steve Maribaldi said it quite well. Let today be the day that you are committed to being the change you wish to see and living the life you wish to live. Commitment is an incredible thing. Commitment starts change. If some area of your life isn't working out the way that you want it to, there's always the ability to change things. You can redo your life every single morning you wake up. Commitment is a critical component of starting change. To gain an exceptional life, you need exceptional levels of commitment. Just think about it like this. For work, if you put an ordinary effort in, you get ordinary results back. For your studies, if you put ordinary effort into your studies, you get ordinary results. For your family, your relationships, your friendships, ordinary effort, ordinary commitment gets back ordinary results. If you want exceptional results, you have to commit. So how does this apply to trading and investing? And we always know all investors become traders whenever they buy or sell. Rule 774, master yourself to master the market. Mastery always begins with commitment. For example, if you're not committed to doing your absolute best, if you just committed to the ordinary, you'll find ordinary reflected in your results. The more that you commit, the better your results will be. One really easy way to commit is to seek to watch the videos the whole way through. Now, why do I say that? Over the 30+ years that I've been trading, what I'm doing here inside each video is sharing a storyline to help you gain skills. If you don't watch it the whole way through, you'll miss so much. So many people just go and focus on whatever they're looking at the moment. You need a deeper context to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. It will pay off for you. Perhaps think about it in a slightly different way. A lot of people really love the game of tennis. They pick up the racket and say, "Oh, I want to go straight to the top." They're ambitious. Unfortunately, a lot of commitment, a lot of time, a lot of blood, sweat and tears is required to get to the majors. Trading and investing in the crypto market requires a lot of commitment. It's a very volatile market. Training your mind is incredibly important. That's why I spend a lot of time trying to help you to think in a really effective manner. I share my rules gained through 30+ years of trading to help you avoid losses wherever you can and to optimize and maximize your profitability. I'd just like to say well done to the CTKS community, the Crypto Trading KS community. We're changing lives and helping so many people to be more of a financial blessing and gain real wealth for themselves and those they love. I really love our community. We're so blessed to know each other. Thank you so much to everyone. What a journey to 10,000 subscribers, and beyond. Rule 174, T-cube method, trend timing and trigger. Let's get into the trend. Using the KS process to uncover the true trend. The first thing we do is look at investment substitutability. Stocks, represented by the S&P 500, up 29% for the past year. Gold, precious metals, down 8% for the past 12 months. Bitcoin up 322% for the past year. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin trend. When understanding the Bitcoin trend, it's really important to remember Rule 111. Crowd psychology creates price. According to Crypto.com, 19.2 million new users were added to the crypto space every month for the past 6 months. According to the Finder Cryptocurrency Adoptions Rate Report, their survey of 42,000 people across 27 countries determined that Vietnam owns the most cryptocurrency, 41% of the population. That is the population surveyed. The UK had the least number of people owning crypto, only 8%. You can see the US is a close second last on 9%. We can see that there are still a lot of people that are outside the crypto market. Looking at the KS model, which is a crypto technical trading model based on institutional price psychology, it's important to realize that Bitcoin is actually more than a global medium of exchange. It's an apex exponential asset class and the foundation of the Internet of Value. Basically what that means, the internet grew really quickly from 1992 to 2006. Crypto is growing far more rapidly, incredibly amazing growth rates. What we're seeing is crypto digital assets are the next evolution in the internet. When you own crypto, especially Bitcoin, but also the alts, you're literally like owning Microsoft and Facebook and Twitter and Amazon, anything that you can imagine in the digital space, and you're owning it. And more and more and more people are coming into the market and they want what you own. Of course, the price is going to go up. All markets experience euphoria and capitulation. It's not just the crypto market, but the crypto market is really identified by those blow off tops and blow off bottoms. It's really important to understand this dynamic plays out all the time in the crypto space, as it does in traditional main markets. That's a really important foundation for you to understand. Let's look at the long view model of Bitcoin. We can see Bitcoin came up from literally 1 cent to its current price of 48,919. I had a community member say, Ken, why are these bars so long? We're looking at 4 phases with Bitcoin. Phase 1 is the bull market sunshine. Phase 2 is the bear market. Phase 3 is the capitulation onwards. That's called consolidation until phase 1 starts again. This behavior has been repeated over many years with Bitcoin. Now this chart is on a log scale. Look what happens when I change it to a normal arithmetic scale. A lot of people say, oh, let me go back to log. These bars are so high. Well, they're not really. These bars are so high in absolute terms. I hope that helps out. Using the KS model, we're currently in the bull market psychology phase of the bull market run. After we get a blow off top, that positive capitulation, that exponential increase, we will enter the bear market, which is literally psychological darkness. It's really important to only compare sunlight to sunlight, darkness to darkness, and dawn to dawn. Dawn is the capitulation. After capitulation, the consolidation and rebuilding. I often say the rocket comes up to the moon, rocket, hits the moon says, get out of here, rocket, go back to Earth. And that's exactly what the rocket does. It comes back to Earth, gets rebuilt in consolidation, and then takes off to the moon again. If we zoom in on the past bull market cycle, the 2016 bull market run, we see this behavior before the exponential blow off top. According to on-chain data, we're about here. That means we have a long way to go before we get this exponential blow off top. It's going to be a really choppy ride. You need to prepare yourself for that. Let's drill into September. I had a few people in the community reach out to me and say, through direct messaging, saying, Ken, what's happening with September? I think the prices are going to go down in September. If we realign the past two halving cycles, the bull market segments of those cycles from the 2012 halving cycle and the 2016 halving cycle, what we see is actually the opposite of that. Basically, September should be one of the best months for Bitcoin. It should improve. Let's see how it goes, but the probabilities are for improvement. Because the US market is closed, I'll drill a little bit more into Bitcoin's technicals. We're going to zoom in. Bitcoin is currently trading at 48,680. We can see some really interesting things playing out on a technical basis here. We had this level of resistance that was passed. We had this level of resistance that was passed. We had this level of resistance, and I can draw it even more tightly here to reflect this really clustered price action. We're above that now. We have an underpinning line of support. That line of support, we're getting a takeoff angle here. That's actually really positive. Now, what is all this saying to us right now? The current price is about 48,700. What do we know? It's trying to get to that $50,000 mark. It keeps coming up and up and up and up. This will tend to resolve the problem with a lot of sellers. A lot of sellers are here trying to push the market down at 50,000. What those sellers see, they say, hang on a sec, price is keeping on coming up. I'm really worried that this 50,000 is going to be breached. Why are they worried? Because they're in all probability short. Now, if they are short, they will need to cover their positions by buying. That will potentially exponentially increase the price of Bitcoin. We know that Bitcoin's fingerprint, no alt escapes Bitcoin's gravity. That will play out on the entire crypto market. 50,000 is a really key level, and we're marching towards it. Our community always understands the price is always moving in a wave. It's going up and down and up and down. We don't care about FOMO, fear of missing out. We have a strategy to buy in layers. We're a fearless community. We look at price action like this and go from the probabilities. What is the probabilities? This support angle held really well. It's holding so well, price hasn't even come down to touch it. We're getting a takeoff angle at the moment. Of course, 50,000 is a really heavy psychological sell level. That is to be expected. That's why we call it psychological resistance. But in all probabilities, Bitcoin will break through that 50,000 level quite soon. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin stablecoin supply ratio SSR oscillator. We can see that this uptrend of crypto or money flowing into the stablecoins and then flowing into Bitcoin is being upheld. This is a really good sign. It says that there is momentum for upward price pressure. If we have a look at Bitcoin futures open interest across all exchanges, we can see the open interest came down a little bit, but that is to be expected. But we see there is quite a lot of open interest. If we were to draw a trend line in here, we're just about to cross over to increased open interest. I wrote an article on Medium why Bitcoin is misunderstood by experts, and why do experts regularly fail to predict the future. I've included a link to this article in the description of this video. It's a really fascinating article. It talks about why people just can't see what's in front of them. They just don't understand how things could change. It is a really interesting article to help you to think about the different stages that Bitcoin and cryptos will go through. I think you'll find it quite helpful. We can see a lot of news headlines talking about health crises. Let's have a quick look at that. We can see cases in the last 7 days actually reduced 2% over cases in the preceding 7 days. That's really good stuff. What we're looking for here is reductions on the weekly numbers of increases. Negative numbers give us hope that this thing is getting under control. If we look at vaccinations around the world, around 39.6% of the world's population is either fully or partially vaccinated. And currently there's around 216.3 million cases. Let's have a really quick look at the market indexes. The US markets are closed, so we'll make this really fast. It's always critically important to deal with problems when they occur, not before. Looking across global markets, we see a lot of green. This is a pretty good sign. The US market saw the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, and the Russell 2000 all improving. We saw a weakening in the DXY, that's the US dollar currency index. And we saw some improvement in silver, copper, gold, palladium, and platinum. When comparing Bitcoin to treasury bonds, we saw improvements in the TLT, the 20+ year treasury bond, 7 to 10 years, 10 to 20 years, 3 to 7 years, and 1 to 3 years. All of them improved, all of them increased in value. With bond yields, we saw the US government bond 30-year yield decreasing, the TYX decreasing, that's the CBOE 30-year treasury bond yield, the US government bond yield for the 20-year and the 10 also decreasing, the CBOE 10-year T-bond yield, the TNX, also decreased, as did the US government bond yield, 5-year yield. The only thing that increased was the 0 to 5-year high-yield corporate debt. Looking at the 5-year and 10-year break-even inflation rate, we saw those rates increasing, then decreasing. They're increasing a little bit, but at a much slower rate. I get a lot of direct messages about the transportation indexes. When we look at Bitcoin versus the airlines and the transport indexes, what we see is the transportation indexes are coming down. They pretty much bottomed when Bitcoin bottomed, and they're starting to come up now. That's a really healthy sign. As transport improves, the overall health of the economy is reflected in that. One supports the other. We also saw a very big increase in Brent oil and crude oil across the past week of trading. The best performing sector in the US economy was the energy sector, followed by communications and materials. The worst performing sectors were healthcare, followed by utilities. Looking across the sector map, you can see how different stocks performed here. We can see that the oil and gas areas are doing quite well. Energy as a total is doing quite well. Some of the banks, regional, were doing quite well. Internet, Google and Facebook did well. We can see the drug manufacturers were under a little bit of negative price pressure. Let's have a look at what could happen to the crypto stocks in the main market. When looking at Bitcoin versus Bitcoin ETFs, we see Bitcoin here in yellow. We see the majority of Bitcoin ETFs underneath the performance of Bitcoin. That makes a lot of sense when you consider Bitcoin is the pure asset and stocks and particular funds, ETFs, they're really managed, so they have management fees. So we can see here that the bottom three were OBTC, the Osprey Bitcoin Trust, BitW, the Bitwise 10 crypto, and GBTC, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. The top performer was GDLC, Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund. Why don't we hop across to Grayscale and look at the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund? What do we see here? What we're really interested in are the components. Here we go. Bitcoin, 65.8%, Cardano, about 6%, Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Chainlink. They are the components. We can see an overweighting of components between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Probably a helpful thing to know is that you require $50,000 to actually invest in GDLC. So this is realistically for high net worth individuals. I'd like to give you some new analysis here. These are the components of the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund. We can see Bitcoin. This is on a weekly basis. Bitcoin support is very strong here, and it's making a secondary play up. Have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum's trend is incredibly strong. That's a very strong support line. So strong that Ethereum's price didn't even come down to test it. It's already passed across resistance and has been going up for a number of weeks. Cardano, very strong trend line here. Another secondary support line here. Strength indeed. Here we can see Cardano has been doing really well. Bitcoin Cash, we can see the support line for Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash came down, tested the support line, and bounced up. It's over weekly resistance. It's just suffering nothing more than a normal price wave action. Litecoin has support here. It broke through this support, turned it to resistance. It's actually come and taken out this resistance line. It's now acting as support. So we've got several support lines here cradling Litecoin's price action. Chainlink has one level of support through here. It's bypassed this resistance. It's on its way up. You can see Bitcoin's fingerprint playing in behind all of these alts here. No alt escapes Bitcoin's gravity. You can see the holdings just here. 65.8% for Bitcoin, 25.8% for Ethereum, and much lower percentages. Cardano, nearly 6%, but Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Chainlink all under 1%. Returning to Bitcoin versus the Bitcoin ETFs, we can see Bitcoin's price has suffered a little bit of negative price momentum. That is because Bitcoin is trying to get above that 50,000. As soon as it does that, this Bitcoin will do very well. I hope that little bit more information on GDLC has helped you out. I know quite a few members of the community asked me to look more deeply into that. I hope that helps. Let's have a look at Bitcoin versus public companies with Bitcoin exposure. We see outperforming Bitcoin, Marathon Digital and Hut8 underperforming Bitcoin in the past 2 weeks. BitF, Bitfarms, Riot Blockchain, Argo Blockchain, HVBT, Hive Blockchain, Silvergate Capital Corporation, ADE, the Bitcoin Group SE, Coinbase Global, MicroStrategy, Galaxy Digital, Voyager Digital, and BTBT, Bit Digital. A community member reached out and said, Ken, how do the public companies compare with Bitcoin exposure to Bitcoin over the past 12 months? It's a really good question. Here's a little something I prepared for the community to answer that question. We can see Argo Blockchain over the past 12 months has done really well, coming up 2,026%, followed by Voyager Digital, 1,874%, Bitfarms 1644%, Marathon Digital, Mara, up 1482%, Riot 1031%, Hive Blockchain up 869%, Hut 8 up 867%, Silvergate Capital Corporation up 662%, Galaxy Digital up 453%, MicroStrategy up a modest 384%, done really well. Bitcoin up 322%, BTBT Bit Digital up 170%, ADE, the Bitcoin Group SE, up 42.8%, and Coinbase Global over the past 12 months, down 21.07%. Looking at Bitcoin versus the Bitcoin ETFs over the past year, we see the best performing was BitW, up 327.83%, followed by Bitcoin up 315.95%, followed by QBTC 21XB, the Grayscale, Bitcoin Trust, GDLC, LC, the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund, BitC, which is the 9-point Bitcoin ETF, CoinShares, Physical Bitcoin, which is also BitC, just to make everything interesting, BTCC, losing 9.91%, BTCX, losing 12.14%, BTCQ, losing 13.62%, EBIT, losing 14.35%, and OBTC, losing 70%. Please let me know how I can more assist you in your journey to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. We're all about community-driven content on Crypto Trading KS. Please let me know in the comments. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing this video if you think it will help others. Thank you to our moderators and admins for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from and if you have any questions. If you would like updates on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube, and you can join us on Facebook and Discord and follow me on Twitter. I've left details in the description of this video. Crypto is volatile. Please prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.